was cleaning up in here and rearranging things, I changed the layout a little bit, I guess. So I was just sitting here looking at everything, and I really want the stove to kind of be centered to this window right here. And I'm not going to be blocking out the top part of the window. I will probably bring I'll frame it up to right here, and do a backsplash right here. The stovetop is going to be, I don't know, it's going to be about 2 inches above this right here. So it's going to be about 36 inches up here. And this top window, or this middle window ledge piece right here, is at 40 1/4. So 36 is going to be right about here. So that'll give us a little bit. Right there. So about 4 inches. That'll give me about a 4-inch backsplash, I guess, right there. But that stove and oven, I don't know if you guys can really see me. The stove and the oven has like a glass thing that folds up back here. And so I think that'll be sufficient. The thing was, I kind of wanted to be able to just open one window like that when I'm sitting here cooking, and then air can either come in or go out right there. And then of course you have the emergency exit right here. You can open that. I may end up eventually taking the emergency exit out and putting a fan in right there to pull air out while we're cooking. That way in the summertime you can just open this window, turn the fan on, and you'll get a nice little draft pulling that the heat out of the bus, so you're not heating the bus up real bad. And like all these windows right here are going to be open. 1, 2, 3, 4 windows open. And then we'll start the frame in right here from this pillar over to, I think right here will be blocked off. We'll block off those 2 windows. They'll get insulation and all that. And probably even this window right here. This one will probably get blocked off too, because this right here is going to be kind of where the clothes and just general storage and stuff. I haven't really figured out exactly what all we're doing right here. I mean, we're going to have a refrigerator in this area. Maybe it may not be a refrigerator that comes up this high. It might actually be one that fits underneath. I got to figure out what we're doing for that appliance. So I really don't know. I'm really leaning towards like a freezer chest type 12-volt refrigerator. Something that's not going to use a ton of power, because I mean, it's an RV, and yeah, we're going to be a family living in here, but I think we can make do with a smaller refrigerator. And just have, because I really would like to have a wood burning stove in here, and if I can have just the countertop come out here even further and then put a wood burning stove right here and have the refrigerator underneath here. So I've been watching Isaac over at A Bus Life Story, and I see him use the Iceco refrigerator. It's a 12-volt refrigerator, I believe, and he puts it on like this little cart thing so it can like pull out. And I'm thinking that would be really handy. And I've got some more work to do on this right here. I need to actually cut this board, this face board right here, a little narrower, because I'll explain that here in just a second. Let me grab the camera here. So one thing I need to do, another little change is, all right, because we got to take it apart and fix this right here, is I got to looking at this and I was like, okay, so if I put a trash can right here, you know, I've got a pretty good amount of space right here that is just being wasted, you know, several inches right there. So what I'm going to do is actually take this board off take it in, and we're going to trim it down to where it's a lot thinner, okay? And we'll be able to have a bit wider of a space right here, and it's going to, you know, be able to shift this trash can thing over, and we could possibly have another pull out here or something. I'm just not real sure on how I'm going to do that. Like, going through this whole process of this build, I'm always like, oh, could I do that different? You know, how can I best do this, or how can I best do that? You know, and like in a typical house, this is kind of how your cabinets would be, and you have wasted space right there. I mean, you don't really consider it wasted space necessarily, but it kind of is. And I don't know if I can get a trash can in this space right here. I haven't went and bought one or measured one. I've got one in the house I could go probably measure in the bathroom. And that's probably actually the trash can we'll be using. We'll probably bring that one from the bathroom and put in here. I just bought it not too long ago because our other one broke. Things break when they get old, I guess. But that'll probably be the one I use. So I'm going to have to go measure that. But I don't know. I may cut that down. I may not. It just kind of seems like wasted space. So much to figure out. Anyways, yeah. I guess. Oh. I'm probably just going to cut another one. I don't know. Alright guys, I just cut a new board here rather than spending all the time to work on and fix the other one. This one is kind of unique. It still has a little bit of the bandsaw blade marks in it right there from the sawmill. They didn't get completely planed out, so that's kind of cool right there. It's got some nice little features right here in it, so it's a nice piece of wood. All right guys, so kind of looking at this here, the door spacing here is off by about 1/2 inch. So this one actually needs to come over just a little bit. I don't know why it's off, but it is. And then I'm thinking about taking this base piece and this one off and trimming it down quite a bit. I mean, it doesn't need to be that wide. I'm thinking we'll probably trim this down to about 1 inch thick, you know, inch wide or so. Maybe, I don't know. It's just, I need to trim some of that off. That's quite a bit right there that we're losing just for a face of a board, when this can be, you know, a drawer all the way over pretty much to the edge right here. So I'm gonna have to change that. It just doesn't make sense to lose this much space right there. So I think we're gonna be taking this board off and the one on the end off. We're gonna run them through the table saw and get those trimmed down to about 1 inch wide, to where they're just barely wider than the wall board over here. And I think that'll work. And then this right here, I think needs to go over about 1/2 inch. It's just, it's off a little bit. I mean, you won't notice it whenever I put the doors on it, because I'll just hang the doors to look even. But this right here, I want a little bit wider drawer right here. So I need to scoot that over 1/2 inch and then trim these down. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's go put these back on. All right, guys, there you go. I fixed a few issues. We replaced this top board here. I trimmed down the sideboard here. It was just, we were losing a lot of space right there. So now we're looking at just almost 16 inches. It's just about a 32nd of an inch shy of 16. And then we got 12.5 there and 12.5 right here. And then this one, since we trimmed that down, is now, instead of 8 inches, plus we moved this over to have the even distance there. But we trimmed this down. Now we got 11.25 on the width right there. So now we'll be able to have a drawer right here for like silverware and stuff. And then down here we'll have a bigger one that'll be a bottom mounted slider that'll come out and be like a pantry, just a small pantry like canned goods and whatnot. And then so this one right here, of course, you probably do most of your food prep, like your you know, cutting and stuff like that. Your cutting board will be right here. I'm actually going to make a cutting board that will fit right here on top of the sink also. And that will actually store right over here beside this. But we're going to have a trash can right here. It's going to be on a bottom mounted slider that you have a handle up here you can grab a hold of and slide that out. Have your trash right there, so you can kind of be standing here like this, you know, doing your cutting or whatever, and then pull your trash out and slide it right off of the cutting board right into the trash. Nice and easy, you know, simple ergonomic setup. Then you're going to have a little bit of space, counter space right here for your, you know, right before stuff goes onto the stove. So we're going to have the stove right here with the oven, and then down below the oven, because the stove is only 20 inches tall. So we got burned 2 inches. So right there at the end of my tape measure, that part right there is going to have a drawer for your pots and pans right there. Of course, you'll have, you know, storage underneath the sink right there. And then I'm going to put something up here. I'm thinking, here at the house, we actually have a stainless steel, it's like a big cup looking thing that we put our, you know, cooking utensils, like the spatulas, wooden spoons, stuff like that, go in that. So I'm kind of thinking maybe get 2 of those, put right here. Maybe we can mount a magnet or something to the top of the counter here that, you know, those canisters can just kind of stick to. So that way they're not there permanent. You can actually take it off and dump it out, you know, clean it out or whatever. That way it's not getting all nasty in there. We don't want to actually mount it permanent or nothing like that. But I'm kind of thinking just 2 big cup things right here that are magnetically stuck here would be super awesome. Then of course your stove, and then right here we'd have a little bit more counter space, so you have a little bit of counter space on both sides of the stove, just to kind of make cleanup a little easier, so you don't have like grease on everything. And then we're going to bring the backsplash up right here to the top of this ledge right here. So it ain't going to be much of one, because this right here is going to be a 2-inch or so thick slab on top of here for the countertop. And so yeah, it gives you probably 3 inches, I think, 3 or 4 inches from the countertop to this right here. So as far as a refrigerator, it's going right over here on this side, and the countertop is going to extend over a little bit. I'm right now, I really don't know if I'm going to get a big, tall, stand-up fridge freezer, which is kind of what we need, you know, for a family of 4. We like to have a little bit of stuff in the freezer, a little bit of stuff in the fridge and everything, of course, but I really kind of feel like we need to get a 12-volt stand-up fridge freezer. And you know, right now there's just no money in the bank for that. So let me take this phone call real quick. All right, so that was my mom calling. Told her I'd call her back here in a minute. But anyways, I think this is going to be pretty nice right here, guys. Again, we're going to have some overhead storage right here for our plates and bowls and stuff. We'll probably just have like 1 plate per person. Well, I guess we'd have to have a couple extra plates, because we got to have plates for, you know, fixing food. So we'll be able to have enough space up here for our plates and some bowls up here on basically a rack. I think would probably be like a wooden rack up here, just something I can make myself, and if it, you know, starts looking bad or whatever, I can just, you know, rebuild it or whatever pretty cheaply. I'm kind of thinking about just using dowel rods and some oak wood, and we'll finish it and everything. It'll look really nice, and basically to where you can wash your dishes, rinse them off, and then put them up here, and they can drip dry into the sink and not be getting everything else wet and everything. And that way you don't have to have like countertop space for a dish drainer or something like that. But yeah, anyways, I think that's going to be it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.